Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. So today I'll be creating another 5 tips video, and on today's 5 tips we'll be talking about 5 things which you won't learn from school. I actually like creating this kind of video so that I can help those who are still in school to be able to transition smoothly when they're done with college, because yeah, it's not easy. We are experiencing it and we're not experiencing it any easier. So I usually say it's better to help someone and make it easier for someone else. Yeah, you get me? And if you're new here, my name is Loise Oduor. So if you're interested in such kind of content, make sure that you consider clicking on that subscribe button. Number 1 is getting a job. I know the major reason as to why most of you guys are in college right now is that one day you'll graduate and apply for a job and get a job and be employed. Like, that is usually one of the major reasons as to why most people are in college. But then you graduate and realize it isn't as easy as you thought getting a job is, because when you're still in college you'll just be taught and everyone will be like, oh, you'll get a job, this is a good course. Like, no one will tell you are in the wrong place. You're obviously in the right place. Everyone will tell you in the right place, you'll get a job, you just have to go out there. But then realize it's not as easy as you thought it is. Like, something as simple as even writing a CV, you find that you are done, you don't even know how to write a CV, you don't even know, like, it should be outstanding, because you might be having a 7-page CV, yet someone has a 1-page CV and they'll get that job. It's because they're standing out, they have that experience, they have that ability to show that they can do it. Like, nowadays it's just not about how much you've done or which school you've gone to. I don't know, you went to a very big national school, after that you went to a very big university. Like, that doesn't matter anymore. Nowadays is what you can offer, that is what matters. And you find that most people don't realize this early, so you keep on dropping your CVs. Like, most of us, after we graduated, we've dropped almost I can't even count how many CVs I've been leaving each and every hospital. I've been living in each and every email. But you're just doing that, yet maybe there's something that other people are doing that you're not doing. That's why you're not being selected. So you should learn how to apply for a job. And you know, like, the world nowadays is just a little bit of different, because nowadays it's not just about bringing the papers, because you give them those papers and those papers will be used for other purposes. Like, no one is going to read your CV. And then you find that there are people who will go to their website, there are people who will go and email them, there are people who will follow them on Instagram, and then those people will get that job. Like, nowadays it's just about like going out. You getting? So make sure you learn how people get a job in that field. Learn new ways of getting a job in that field, because maybe the way people used to do before is not the way people do it nowadays. Learn those ways of getting a job, learn those ways of writing those CVs. Like, do your own research before graduating so that it becomes easier for you when you are done with college. Number 2 is surviving without a job. So you find that most of us get so depressed because we have the society mindset. What does the society say? The society says you have to go to school, after that you look for a job. But then what if you don't get that job? You become depressed, because that is all your life depended on. That is all you ever thought about. Just go to school and get a job, and there's nothing else you had in mind. You had no other plan B as an escape route, because you just wanted to get that job. So while you're still in college, while you're still in school, try and think of other survival modes, like after graduation, depending on the course that you have. Just know that it is not a must for you to do to work for the course that you did. Like, only because I did nursing, it's not a must for me to be a nurse. Like, if I'm not finding a job, like, it's okay for me to try something else, and if I get a job somewhere else, it's okay for me to do that job, even if like, it's not what I went to school for. Like, if I have another skill, let's say if there's something that I know how to do, it's okay for me to start doing it in the meantime and then earn money from it while I'm still waiting for that job. Like, you just can't put all your eggs in that one basket and say, I went to nursing school, I'm expecting to become a nurse, and that is just it for me, and there's nothing else I'm trying. No, don't have that kind of mindset. Be open-minded. Try and think of other great ideas. Like, I know people usually just You usually say when you go to the graveyard, that is where you find most ideas, because people have died with the ideas. Like, people are just so scared of trying these new things that come to your mind. Just try it out. Who said, like, if you fail there's a problem? Maybe I should say it's better if you start by failing than if you don't start at all. Just start it. Just apply for any other thing. Anything that you see on the website and you feel like you can be able to do it, apply. Just go out and try. And just, that is the only way you're going to survive without a job. Because if you're waiting for that job, at times maybe that is not what life meant for you. Well, that is not what was meant for you to do in life, if you're getting me. But just go out, do your thing, try. Like, nowadays I see people succeeding through very weird things. Like, someone just does something on TikTok or on YouTube or something, and they just blown up, and they are, I don't know which station, they're the radio presenter and something, and their life just starts from there, something that they never expected. And that all came from being outgoing and trying new things. So do it. It's gonna save you, I'm telling you. Number 3 is have a life. Like, you really need to know how to make life decisions. Like, no one is gonna tell you how to make life decisions. Like, most people have grown in families and in communities whereby no one is going to teach you how to make life decisions. What they're going to do is they're going to try to make those decisions for you. They're going to try to make decisions for your own life, and the only way you're going to get through this is if you have your own life as early as possible. Like, when you're still in college, you realize, what is it that I truly want? What is it that I'm truly, like, where am I seeing myself in the next 5 years? Have a plan, have goals. Like, just have your whole life planned out, so that anytime someone comes, all those noises that come from the society, you're able to know how to filter. Like I usually say, like, you should have that life filter, so that you know which kind of advices to take in and which advices not to take in. So have a life first. Something that most people ignore is their mental health. Like, people are going to stress you out, everyone is suggesting what you should do, and we have all those kind of noises, and you're going into depression, and your mental health is very poor. And something I usually say is that this life, when you die today, yes, we'll cry, we'll say all nice things about you, but just know our lives will still continue. So I usually tell myself, if something happens to me today, all of you people who are saying all those things you're saying about my life, your lives will still continue. So why don't I just live my life to the best? Like, why don't I just enjoy my life and make my own decisions, so that even if something happens to me, like, I'll be glad that I lived my life. You get me? And you know, these are just ways of preventing you from getting to that point whereby you are depressed and you are getting into suicide and all those kinds of things. It all starts when you make your own decisions and you're proud of it, and you're just proud of yourself, and you say, this is what I want, this is what I like, this is what I'm going to do. And yes, you're appreciating life, you're appreciating what other people are saying, but then you're still making your own decisions. Number 4 is about relationships. Still on the point of doing the advice filtering. Know what advice to take in, because people are still gonna have opinions about your life. Like, that is always going to be there until you die. People will always have opinions about your life. So know what kind of advices to take in, because people are going to advise you on what type of friends to keep, what type of partners to date or get married to. Like, people will always have opinions. Just know that this is mostly your life. It is 100% your own life. I'm not saying it's bad to listen to other people. Listen to what they say, but then remember, when it comes to friends, these are the friends you're going to make families, because after college, most of your friends are going to be families, because at times these are the people you're going to depend on when you have other problems, like, say, financial, blah blah blah, all those kinds of problems. So you are the one who is going to depend on these friends. So have the right type of friends. When it comes to partners, you are the one who is going to live with this partner. So I actually don't get it when people just have all kinds of opinions about who you should live with, who you should do this, who you should do this, and yet 100% you're the person who's going to live with this partner. So make your own decisions. Again, from the third point, learn how to make your own decision when it comes even to the relationships. Another thing, learn what to take in depending on what you see on social media. Like nowadays, usually just scroll through YouTube and TikTok, most especially TikTok, and I see people giving each other advices, and I'm like, wow, that means nowadays people are just going to live because a certain celebrity said this is what is supposed to be done. Like the one that I usually see most nowadays is about parenthood. So someone will just make a TikTok and say, oh, I cannot have kids, I don't know, kids are just what, and they bring videos of kids doing funny things, and people are like, oh, this is enough family planning for me, I cannot have kids. And everyone is just becoming negative, and you're like, you know, this is influence. Like the more you are hearing these things, you're making decisions slowly by slowly, and you're not realizing that you're making decisions. So even if you're watching these videos on TikTok or on YouTube about relationships with friends, relationships with families, and like having a family especially, you find that yes, there's someone who you're following, they had a like they were married, let me just say that they were married and their marriage didn't work, so they come on TikTok and say all kinds of things about men, all kinds of things about having kids, all kinds of things about friends and families, and those things are just so negative. And because you're following their life and they're influencing your life, you take it all in, and then this is what you decide to do with your life. You haven't even given yourself a chance to like I want to say taste it, like a chance to experience it. Even giving yourself a chance to experience it so that you can make decisions like for yourself. You get me? Like I know you went through that kind of an experience, but that doesn't just mean that I'm going to go through the same experience that you went through only because, oh, men are the same, oh, well, kids are know how to filter. Like me, usually just watch, and at times I just like watch while laughing, and I'm like, hey God, if these are the kind of advices, then I don't know how people are going to live in families like in 10 or 20 years to come, because they're being fed. And I'm telling you something about social media, you can listen to these things every day and they're just sticking to your mind, and you're not realizing it until one day you realize it has affected your social life, and you cannot even be able to stay in a, let's say, a certain relationship for even a couple of months, and then that's when you realize those kinds of advices affected your life. So learn to listen to positive advices that are going towards positive directions. You have your life to live. Those people who are giving you advices about their lives, even for me, even if I'm talking to you guys about advices about life after college, just know I'm talking from my own experience, but you still have your own life. You can just listen, but then make your own decision. And then lastly, it's about having positive habits. I'm telling you, the small things that you do every day will influence your life at the long run. You might not see the consequences, you might not see them right now, but then later on, that's when you'll start realizing there's some things you're developing when it comes to both your physical and your mental health, due to the practices that you had like from way back when you were still living in school. You get me? So start having positive habits. I know these things people usually sing about them every day: having the right sleeping habits, drinking water, exercising, working on a skill, doing what you love. Like these are things that we hear every day, but then just putting them into action is the problem. Like I actually say, you don't have to do it that much. Like let's say when it comes to sleeping, you don't have to like wake up every day at 5 a.m. You just have to have enough sleep. Like you cannot wake up at 5 a.m. if you go to bed at 2 a.m. or you cannot wake up at 6 a.m. if you go to bed by 3 a.m. Like that is not possible. That is not having enough sleep. Like let's say you want to wake up at 5 a.m. make sure you go to bed as early as 10 a.m. You get me? So having like really good sleeping habits is going to help, because you need that rest. Okay, what else? Something like having a skill and doing what you love. Remember, your mental health is so important. Feeling positive about yourself, knowing that there's something that you can do, knowing that there's a skill that you can do, even if it's playing an instrument, that there's something that you're good at, just makes you feel happy about yourself. you'll be proud of yourself. You feel like you can do it. Like, just having that positivity in your life is so important. Yes, no one's going to tell you to stop drinking too much alcohol, to stop doing this and this, but then just realize that one day you'll be able to regret not doing these small tiny things that you usually ignore and say, that doesn't matter, we don't care about that, you're living our lives, blah 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 blah, we have FOMO and we are just what do you usually say? There's this thing, what do you usually say? I've remembered it. YOLO. You only live once, and you want to enjoy your life, and then you forget this life afterwards. I know, like, yes, you're enjoying your life, but just know how to take care of yourself mentally, physically. You'll need it. So guys, that was it for today, and thank you for watching this video. See you on my next one, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.